Hello YouTube and fellow preppers, this is Geordie Prepper, and I just thought I'd cover a topic which I've covered in a previous video, which I'll leave a card to, and that's criminal systems and preparedness. Now increasingly we're seeing corporate encroachment into our personal and private lives when there's simply no lawful reason for them to do so. It's simply a matter of controlling the behavior, the thoughts, and the actions of the public. And unfortunately, most of the public actually comply with these things. So, for our American brothers and sisters that aren't aware of it, here in England and in Great Britain and many other countries around the world, we have a thing called the TV license. So if you're watching live TV, if you're recording it, whether you're watching it by traditional television or if you're watching it now online from the BBC anyways, you are expected to pay a TV license, which is basically a tax. So you're basically paying a tax for the privilege of receiving what they're broadcasting of their own accord over the airwaves. Basically, if you don't have a TV license, if the property that you're in doesn't have a TV license, then they send you threatening letters. They threaten you with court, with fines, when the British Bill of Rights 1689 states that any threat of fine or forfeiture before conviction is null and void. So their threats of fines are actually baseless and unlawful. If you don't pay a TV license, they send you these letters quite frequently. For a while, they'll send them frequently. There may be periods of time where, they don't send them. So as you can see here, TV license fee costs £145.50 per year, which would be over $200 if you're talking US currency. 200 maybe towards $225, $250. And they're expecting the home that I'm in to be licensed by 11th of January, which is simply not going to happen. Obviously, it's well documented that for many decades the BBC has been involved in lots of criminal actions against people. They've been involved with criminal behaviour towards people of all ages, and it's their actions towards children which is most despicable and, the least able to defend themselves is the group of people that these criminals go after. The behaviour of the BBC is still continuing in this regard. They're still involved with this activity. They're still involved with criminal behaviour, and it's not something that I'm ever going to fund. You can see here at the bottom of the letter it says that their investigation starts from 11th of January. 95% of UK addresses are correctly licensed. For me, that figure is just far too high. I would be much happier if that figure was towards 0%. I don't think it's fair, I don't think it's lawful, and I don't think it's right morally to expect the British public to pay for the behaviour and the criminal actions that this BBC corporation has conducted over 60 years plus. And if you just do some research into the behaviour of people that have worked for the BBC, you'll obviously see that people have been convicted, they've been tried, they've been found guilty of many criminal acts and behaviour towards people. And also their agents, companies who chase people who don't pay for the TV licensing, the people who've worked for those companies have, committed despicable acts against people. And, it's just not something that I'm going to fund. I would encourage you who are watching this now to do the same. Just don't fund these criminal behaviours and criminal corporations, private corporations that have absolutely no business contacting you in the first place. Don't give them your name. Don't tell them anything. Don't even answer the door to them. Because unfortunately, for those who aren't aware, they do come to your door with threats in an intimidating manner. People have been assaulted and worse in their homes by people acting on behalf of TV licensing. Just don't answer the door. And if someone does come to your property and you feel threatened, call for a police constable acting on their oath and get them to remove them if they don't go away. So the purpose of the video, guys, is just to say that if we don't do something about this encroachment from private corporations into our lives, then the frequency and the amount of things that they're going to attempt to get involved with in your life is only going to increase. And one thing that I would like to promote is peaceful non-compliance. So you just peacefully don't comply, you don't interact, you don't correspond with these people, and you do so in a very peaceful manner. So if it does come down to physical threats against you, or you actually are assaulted by these people, because it has happened in people's homes, people have been assaulted, people have, they've barged into people's homes and physically assaulted them, then obviously under those circumstances, you have the lawful right to defend yourself and to take all actions necessary to preserve your life person and property and those who may be on the premises at the time. So if you feel threatened and you are getting physically assaulted, then do everything you can to cease that assault against you and to subdue those who are doing it. Peaceful non-compliance is a very powerful weapon, and if more of us took up that weapon, then these people would see that we're not going to be intimidated. And I'm not going to be intimidated by this corporation. I will never fund their activities ever again. So I just wanted to show an example of corporate intimidation and threats, and just to give you a solution to simply just ignore it. There's nothing easier than doing nothing. So just do nothing. You're not going to be funding criminal behavior. This is Geordie Prepper. Be safe, be prepared, and I'll see you in the next video.